In 1945, Japan surrendered and agreed to have no offensive. This means that Japan is not allowed to have aircraft carriers, which are considered exclusively offensive weapons. However, Japan can have a self-defense force to protect the country against external aggression. Despite this, the rapid strengthening of China has alarmed Japanese authorities. They realized it was necessary to arm themselves, including having aircraft carriers, which allowed them to fight enemies far away from their territory. However, to avoid irritating China, the Japanese Ministry of Defense announced the construction of a flat-top destroyer named Izumo, primarily intended for rescue and search operations, patrolling territorial waters, and protecting Japanese sovereignty. Izumo has a total displacement of 27,000 tons, is 814 feet long, 125 feet wide, 24.5 feet draft, and 77 feet high. It has a combined gas turbine unit includes 4 General Electric LM2500 turbines, with a total power output of 112,000 horsepower, allowing it to reach a speed of 30 knots. The crew consists of 470 personnel, and it can accommodate up to 14 helicopters. In addition to its primary mission, Izumo is armed with 2 6-barreled Mark 15 Fowling C-Wiz 20mm automatic anti-aircraft guns and 2 REM 116 surface-to-air missile launchers with 11-cell CRAM missiles. Despite Japan's claim that Izumo is not an offensive weapon, its capabilities have raised questions about its true purpose. Some see Izumo as a self-defense warship, while others believe it is an offensive weapon that violates Japan's commitment to having no offensive army. Japan modernizes its military with upgraded aircraft carriers and F-35B fighters. In August 2015, Japan launched its second type of helicopter carrier, the Kaga, commissioned by the Japanese Self-Defense Forces on March 25, 2015. The ship's construction aimed to upgrade one of the project's helicopter carriers into a light aircraft carrier based on the Lockheed Martin F-35B deck-based fighters. The Japanese government approved the country's Naval Development Program in 2018, which led to the carrier's upgrade to enable it to accommodate the F-35B fighters. The upgrade began in Atsumo in March 2020 and was completed in July 2021. The ship's landing and air traffic control systems and power supply equipment were upgraded, and the flight deck was heat-coated and marked accordingly. The cost of the upgrade was 3.1 billion yen or $28 million. On October 3, 2021, an aircraft landed on the deck of an aircraft carrier for the first time since the end of World War II. The aircraft was a Lockheed Martin F-35B Lightning II 5th-generation short takeoff and vertical landing fighter from the 242nd Fighter Attack Squadron of the U.S. Marine Air Corps. If the results of Atsumo's operation as an aircraft carrier prove positive, the second stage of modernization will follow in 2025, which involves changing the shape of the ship's bow to enlarge it as well as installing the J-PALS electro-optical landing system and a complete refit of the hangar elevators, fuel, weapons, and spare parts storage that'll enable the F-35B to be entirely based. The second helicopter carrier in the series, the Kaga, will be fully modernized during this phase, and 16 F-35B fighters will be placed on the carrier. Earlier, Japan's self-defense forces expressed their desire to purchase 42 aircraft of the latest version Block 4 from the USA, 32 fighters on aircraft carriers, and 10 more based on the shore. Mutobaru Air Base in Miyazaki Prefecture, Kyushu Island in southwestern Japan, has been selected to house these aircraft. 6 F-35B fighters are scheduled to be deployed in the fiscal year 2024 and 2 more in 2025. Although the F-35B is inferior to the full-fledged F-35C deck fighter aircraft carriers of the United States regarding technical characteristics such as its combat range and payload, Japan cannot do otherwise due to the relatively small size of the Izumo and Kaga. They are not supposed to have catapults or ramps and can only accommodate aircraft with short takeoff and vertical landings. Japan held naval exercises in the Indo-Pacific region from June 13 to October 28, 2022, attended by the new aircraft carrier, Atsumo. It is reported that the Japanese military was satisfied with the exercise. With this upgrade, Izumo and Kaga can strike enemy positions to a depth of 580 miles, much to the dismay of China and North Korea. Although Japan's 2 aircraft carriers with 32 planes aboard are inferior to China's power in this area, the Celestial Empire has 3 aircraft carriers. Japan modernizes its aircraft carriers. In 2021, Japan witnessed a historical event when an aircraft landed on the deck of an aircraft carrier for the first time since the end of World War II. The Lockheed Martin F-35B Lightning II fighter, belonging to the 242nd Fighter Attack Squadron of the U.S. Marine Air Corps, was the first aircraft to land. This marks the first phase of the upgrade of the aircraft carrier. If successful, the second phase of modernization will take place in 2025. The second phase will involve changing the shape of the ship's bow, installing J-PAL's electro-optical landing system, and refitting the hangar elevators, fuel, weapons, and spare parts storage. 16 F-35B fighters will be placed on each of the carriers. Earlier, Japan's self-defense forces expressed interest in purchasing 42 of the latest Block 4 aircraft from the USA, with 32 fighters on aircraft carriers and 10 more on the shore. The Mudabaru Air Base in Miyazaki Prefecture, Kyushu Island in southwestern Japan, has been selected to house these aircraft. 6 F-35B fighters are scheduled to be deployed in the fiscal year 2024 and 2 more in 2025. However, the F-35B is inferior to the full-fledged F-35C deck fighter aircraft carriers of the United States. For example, the F-35B's combat range is 518 miles, while the F-35C has 708 miles. Similarly, the combat payload of the F-35B is 15,000 pounds, while the F-35C is 18,000 pounds. This is due to the relatively small size of the Izumo and Kaga aircraft carriers, which do not have catapults or ramps and can only accommodate aircraft with short takeoff and vertical landings. From June 13 to October 28, 2022, Japan held naval exercises in the Indo-Pacific region, attended by the new aircraft carrier Izumo. The Japanese military was reportedly satisfied with the activities. The upgrade of the Izumo and Kaga aircraft carriers will allow Japan to strike enemy positions to a depth of 580 miles, a significant deterrent for China and North Korea. Although Japan's 2 aircraft carriers with 32 planes are inferior to China's 3 aircraft carriers, this is better than nothing. Additionally, the defense strategy for the Japanese islands assumes that in addition to the Japanese self-defense forces, the American and British armed forces will also take part. The United States has 10 aircraft carriers, including the newest John F. Kennedy, which can accommodate up to 90 aircraft. The British have 2 aircraft carriers, Queen Elizabeth and Prince of Wales, launched in 2017 and 2019, respectively, each with a displacement of 70,600 tons and 50 F-35B fighters. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Also, hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest uploads. See you in the following video.